Last night, Barry Bonds homered at Petco Park. It was his 33rd Major League Park in which he's homered in. Tonight, Bonds and the Giants return home to SBC Park, where Jerome Williams takes the hill to host the hottest team in the National League, the St. Louis Cardinals. It's Giants baseball in high-definition television coming up next. All right, we're back at SBC Park. The Giants are finished for a while on the road, and they get the St. Louis Cardinals in Game 1 of this 3-game series. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwayne Kuiper, and welcome back. Alongside me is Mike Krukow. Well, I think right now the Giants are happy to be playing anybody but the Padres. But the Cardinals, we're talking about the team right now with the best record in the National League. They're tough, but the Giants are glad to be home.
Well, indeed they are. The Giants are very, very happy to get back in the home whites. Have somebody cheering for them for a change. It's going to feel strange. Well, tonight they're going to face the best road team in all of baseball. Cardinals come into this series with a 34-16 record on the road. Now, how good is that record? Their road record is better than 28 of the major league teams' home record. So it's remarkable what they've done. Plus, you know, if a little added spice into this series, well, the Giants went into St. Louis and they whomped on the Cardinals in front of their hometown fans. So you know that the Cardinals want to get even, and they want to do it to the Giants, what the Giants did to them in St. Louis. So, I mean, everything is really geared up. Plus, there's an X factor. There was a trade that went down today, and Felix Rodriguez, who has been with the Giants for a long time, and a clubhouse favorite, is no longer a Giant. He is now a Philadelphia Philly. Now we're going to see how that emotional setback, or whatever, how it affects the team. We're going to see how it sets up and goes into this game tonight.
All right, Ricky Lede, by the way, was the player the Giants got in return for Felix Rodriguez. Well, Bip Roberts had a chance to visit with Giants first baseman J.T. Snow. And when we come back, we will listen to Bip and J.T. Snow right after these words. At SBC Park, a full house tonight watching the Cardinals and Giants in Game 1 of this series. Well, at first base tonight is J.T. Snow. And before the ball game, Bip Roberts had a chance to visit with the Giants first baseman.
Bip Roberts here with J.T. Snow. And J.T. Snow, you are known throughout the league and baseball for your glove, but lately you've been swinging a pretty hot bat.
Yeah, I've been getting some hits. You know, nothing. You know how it is. You played. Baseball's a funny game. You just got to go out and swing the bat. You know, some days you hit the ball hard and you get hits. Other days you hit the ball hard and you hit it right at guys and you don't get hit. So it's just one of those things. Over the course of the year, you hope that they even out. I think Felipe moving me into the third spot has helped a little bit. I'm seeing more strikes, hitting in front of Barry. They obviously don't want to walk you and pitch to Barry. So, but it doesn't matter to me. I love to be in the lineup, and I just show up to the ballpark and check the lineup card, and hopefully my name's in it each day.
Well, I tell you, since you came back from that injury, you really started swinging the bat well. So I have to take it that it was hampering you from a mental standpoint. Well,
yeah, I mean, you hate to make excuses or try and point to anything, but it was bothering me a little bit, and more like you said, more mentally than anything. You know that when you're injured and it's there every day and not going to go away, it kind of takes away from your mental side of the game. Once I got the scope and got everything cleaned up and healthy again, that you know, that mental aspect is gone, so you can just go out and play. And guys just like to be healthy and be able to do what you're capable of doing. So it definitely helped out to get it done.
The Cardinals, you guys played them well over the weekend. That's probably the best team over here in the National League at the moment. What do you guys expect from this series, and what will it take to win this series?
Well, it's going to take good baseball like we played in St. Louis. You know, we pitched well, and we played good defense, and we got some key hits. So we played them tough. We always seem to play them tough in St. Louis, and they're you know, the class of the National League right now. And sometimes that brings out the best in you, though. And you know that when you step on the field, you got to be ready to go, and you can't make many mistakes because they'll make you pay for them. They got some great players. So we played well in their ballpark. Not too many visiting teams like to come here in San Francisco and play in this park in the cool and the windy conditions. So hopefully that'll work for us, and we'll just try like we do every series, and that's to try and win the series and take 2 out of 3.
J.T. Snow, thank you. Continued success.
All right, thanks.
All right. Back to you, Kite.
JT Snow in the lineup, and so is Marquise Grissom and Michael Tucker as they get ready for the start of this ball game. When we come back, we're going to take a look at Barry Bonds' big fly last night at Petco Park, and we're going to do that right after these words. If you just joined us, the Giants traded Felix Rodriguez this afternoon to the Philadelphia Phillies for Ricky Leday, and Leday played this afternoon at Wrigley Field. I believe he did get a couple of hits. The Giants also received a minor league pitcher in the deal, so that happened today, and who knows, maybe a couple of more trades to happen between now and I believe it's 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. We're at SBC Park, and this is game 1 of this weekend series against the Cardinals.
All right, Cubs, take a look at our Bank of America higher standard. And last night in San Diego, Barry Bonds, for the 684th time in his Hall of Fame career, left Earth with an opposite field home run. And that certainly qualifies as our Bank of America higher standard just because he hit one out in San Diego.
Absolutely. His first one at Petco Park. All right, we're just about ready for the first pitch of this ball game, and we come back, we will have the lineups, and we will have that first pitch in high def right after this. Back at SBC Park as the umpires are out, the lineup cards being exchanged, and as always in game 1 of a series, the ground rules discussing all the important ground rules as the Giants take the field. Let's take a look at the Cardinals lineup, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. It'll be Tony Womack, Edgar Renteria, and then Albert Pujols. Pujols red hot, 7 home runs in his last 13 games. Followed by Scott Rowland, Jim Edmonds, then Roger Cedeno. Mabry had a good series against the Giants in St. Louis. He'll hit 7th. Mike Matheny will catch and hit 8th, and then Chris Carpenter will pitch in bat 9th.
On the hill tonight for the Giants will be Jerome Williams, making his 21st start, 9-7 with a 4.53 ERA. Williams is a pitcher who can do many things with the ball. He's got great touch with everything that he'll throw. A fastball that's got a good base sink. He'll run it up there between 87 miles per hour and 93. He can back speeds off of all of his pitches. He'll throw a changeup and a curveball. He'll throw anything, anytime, and a very good athlete. Once he throws the ball, he fields his position very well. The defense behind Jerome Williams sets up this way tonight. It's going to be Bonds, Grissom, and Tucker in the outfield with Alfonso, Cruz, Durham, and Snow across the infield. A.J. Przinsky does the catching. Marquise Grissom, the only National League starting center fielder without an error this season, back there in his familiar position here at SBC. The Giants looking to get off on a good homestand.
So Felipe Alou, indeed, thinking the same thing.
Okay, let's take a look at our Mercedes-Benz keys to the game right now, and really the best defense is going to win this series. And the Cardinals are a flamboyant defense. They catch the ball very well. It's something the Giants are in a little bit of a slump right now. They need to catch the ball better. They're throwing too many pitches to try and pitch through too many errors, and that's something they have to improve upon. And you want look at the windup and stretch consistency with Jerome Williams. Out of the windup, he has been very, very good. Out of the stretch, he has been average. And for Felipe Alou, enjoy the home field advantage. It hasn't been very many times the Giants have put on the white uniform since the All-Star break. In fact, just twice. So that last guy that hits always has the advantage. You got to take advantage of it.
Here's Tony Womack to lead things off, and we're just about ready for the start of this game. And the first pitch is on its way, and it's a strike. So Womack coming in batting .298 with 5 home runs, 29 RBIs, hits one on the ground to Davy Cruz. Cruz to Snow, 1 out. So with 1 out, here's Edgar Renteria. The Giants won the first 2 games in that series in St. Louis. And the second game in that series was on Saturday. And that's the last time the Cardinals have lost. They won on Sunday, and then they went into Cincinnati, and whoop, they took 3 from the Reds. And right at Alfonso, 2 out. Not only did Williams get the out, but he got Renteria to break his gamer. So that's like an 0 for 2.
That's, yeah. You can't get married to too many wood bats. They just don't last, no matter how good a hitter you are. Sooner or later, you're going to hit one off the end, and that's going to be it. Alfonso playing it perfectly. Didn't even move his feet. Like he's playing catch with him.
Here's the next great star in all of baseball, Albert Pujols. I mean, he probably is already, but
yeah, I think the ship has landed with this guy.
He is going to be in the class of his own, as Grissom is going to wait for this one to come down, and when it does, it's going to be in his glove. So Williams a 1-2-3 inning. Giants are coming up. Durham to lead it off. 0-0. Giants are coming up here in the bottom of the first inning, and here's Felipe Alou's lineup, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Durham, Tucker, Snow, and then Barry Bonds has hit a home run in his last 4 games against the Cardinals. How about that? Alfonso, Przinsky, Grissom, Cruz, and then Jerome Williams.
On the hill tonight for the Cardinals will be the 7-year veteran Chris Carpenter. Big fella, 6'6", 230-pounder. And he can throw a lot of things at you. And really the strength of Carpenter's game is that he can pitch. He's got a fastball he can sink and cut, a curveball, a slider, a changeup he'll throw at any time. And really, this has been a pretty good story. You consider this guy's had 3 major arm surgeries in the last couple of years. And at one point thought about giving it all up. And this year he got his arm back, and he's having a heck of a season for the Cardinals. 10-4 coming into this one.
Durham at 267. And he hits one high to right field, but it appears to be in the park. Cedeno battling the wind, and then he backpedals to make the catch.
Discovering the wind. Let's take a look at the defense behind Chris Carpenter tonight. The Cardinals set it up this way. It'll be Mabry, Edmonds, and Cedeno in the outfield. Across the infield, it'll be Gold Glover at third, Roland. Gold Glover at second, Roland. Womack and Pujols around the infield with Gold Glover and Matheny behind the dish. This is a defense that catches the ball. The Cardinal team ranks first in the National League in hitting. They rank 4th in the National League in pitching, and they rank 5th in the National League in fielding. That's one big reason why they have the best record in baseball. Here's 3 big reasons.
Tucker hits one well into the triples alley, but maybe further than that. It is out of here. No triples alley. Big fly. Home run number 9 for Michael Tucker.
That's the same old story. Watch the elevation of the pitch right at the belt. We say elevate on contact. You get a little bit of an uppercut going to a pitch that's that high up in the strike zone. And if you make solid contact, it's going to go up in the air. See ya. That's a big boy pop right there.
Here's JT Snow. Snow takes a strike. Way off the line at third is Roland.
Carpenter's pitching with confidence. He comes right back in the strike zone with a challenge fastball. You can see the switch. Roland has given up the line, 10 steps off of third.
And that's pulled foul.
The way they've set it up for JT, we haven't seen this type of a defensive set against Snow all year long. Normally teams play him to left field with the center fielder over here. Now the Cardinals set him up about 3 steps out of straightaway center to the right side of second base. They give the gap in left center, but they give him the line down third baseline and really play him to pull in the infield. Snow has been hot.
Snow down the right field line. Fair ball into the corner. Cedeno will pick it up after it dies, and JT Snow with a double with Bonds coming up.
Boy, he's seeing it big right now. One thing about a guy, when he gets it going hot, it seems like he centers everything. Everything coming off his bat is loud, and his contact is solid. No exception here as Snow rakes a high fastball. Another location mistake from Carpenter down the right field line.
Here's our Barry Bonds home run tracker, brought to you by your local Chevy dealers. And this is to the backstop. And that'll be a wild pitch. On Saturday, Same situation in the first inning with first base open. Carpenter pitched to Bonds.
This is something you don't see very often. This is a ball that Mike Matheny, the Gold Glover, he should catch. I mean, he knows it's a breaking ball. He knows which way that ball is going to break. Carpenter's a guy that has exceptional command. Even though that ball's wide, he should have caught that ball.
Bonds deep to right. This one is way back. Out of here. And it's 3-0. Home run number 27 for Barry Bonds. And home run number 685 for Barry Bonds. And here's our Barry Bonds home run tracker, brought to you by your local Chevy dealers. Bingo.
Well, they may rethink how they're trying to pitch him. A bent arm hack fastball at the belt. That's exactly where they wanted to try and pitch Bonds. In and tight at the belt. And he just turned around the scout report.
Water.
Another splash hit.
Low and away to Alfonso.
And right away, Carpenter's going to some sinkers because the four-seamer ain't working.
It's a tough way to find out. I said it in St. Louis as this is rolled to Renteria. He gives ground and he'll throw him out. I tip my cap to Tony La Russa. Early in the game, he pitched to Bonds. And when they pitched to Bonds with first base open in the first inning, and I didn't know this for a fact, but it had to have been the first time all season anybody has pitched to Bonds with first base open. And in that first inning, they got Bonds out. And it paid dividends because you could see Carpenter went, all right. But if it doesn't work, then it goes the other way.
Well, it definitely went the other way as A.J. Pierzynski now steps in to take his first at bat against Chris Carpenter. Pierzynski 0 for 1 lifetime against Carpenter with a strikeout.
And this is hit slowly to Pujols, who will underhand it to Carper, and that'll end the inning. Damage done for the Giants as they scored 3 times. Tucker gone. Bonds gone. 3-0 Giants.
Giants organization will honor the 50th anniversary of the 1954 Giants who won the World Series against the Cleveland Indians. Members of this 1954 team include Monty Irvin, Alvin Dark, Whitey Lockman, Joe Gargioli, Willie Mays, and more will be on hand for a special pregame ceremony. It's presented by SBC Nortel Network, so make sure to get in your seats early for the special pregame ceremony. It's going to start around 6:30, so get here early. Then the Giants will take on the Cardinals at 7:15. And as Scott Rowland steps in to take his first pitch against Jerome Williams, we also want to remind you that from 2 o'clock to 7 o'clock at McCovey Cove at China Basin Park is the Giants KMBR Summer Fan Fest. It's free to the public. Come on out. Kipe and I'll be out there to say hello. And it's a great way to spend an afternoon. But again, get here early to see the 54 team honored.
Our GMC professional grade brought to you by GMC Trucks. Jerome Williams against Scott Rowland and Albert Pujols. Good numbers. I guess maybe good is not exactly the word. Both guys 0 for 8 lifetime against Jerome Williams.
Yeah, you get an 0 for 16 against those hitters. You're doing something right.
Not too shabby.
They're not picking you up. I guarantee they're talking about it at the batting cage before the game.
One and 2 to Scott Rowland.
You know what? When you see onage like that against a couple of good hitters like Pujols and Rowland, all of a sudden you'll start to see a lot of balls go back up the middle because that's their only defense against a guy who can mix speeds like Williams.
Got him.
Good changeup. Let's take a look at our Bank of America higher standards. Active win leaders, players under 23 years of age. Well, Dontrell Willis has 22. Jerome Williams was 16. And Mr. Oliver Perez has 14. Those are 3 good arms to build a staff around.
Here's Edmonds. Edmonds with 27 home runs, 68 RBI. 3 consecutive games for Edmonds with a home run.
Oh, this guy's spooky. He is amazing in that he's so random in the box. He does so many things that are unpredictable. He'll take and some at bats he'll look bad on some swings and beat you with the same pitch that you think you can get him on the same AB. He'll go up there and take pitches like he just did with no intention whatsoever of swinging, and the other bats will go up there and hack at the first pitch. I just think he thinks exceptionally well. Very smart hitter.
Well, he's got 12 home runs in July. There's a fastball inside, 3-1.
Real solid opposite field approach. Got opposite field pop. Head stays very still in his swing. The front heel, that'll come off the ground, but the toe never moves.
Now it's 3-2.
Williams has that changeup working. Good sell job there, way out front.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
And the payoff to Edmonds. On the ground to Snow. He'll take it himself. 2 out.
Back it up, change up to change up, a swing through, then a weak ground ball. That's how good that pitch is. Dave Righetti done a real nice job with Jerome Williams. Jerome Williams has really come fast in this game and has acquired a lot of polish at the tender age of 23. And it's all reflective of Dave Righetti.
That foul is out of play off the bat of Roger Cedeno. So Cedeno coming in at 296, a couple of home runs, 9 RBIs. Off the plate, Wally Bell doing the honors behind home plate. There's Wally.
Got the traditional mask.
Up in the strike zone to Cedeno, but he lifts it foul. John Mabry to follow. Out of play.
Go back to a breaking ball. Cedeno sort of swung as hard as the pitch was thrown. You know, you get that reputation as a hitter, you're going to see a lot of that. Guys trying to softball you because they know they break down your bat speed.
Durham on the dive. Durham cannot get it out of his glove. And a nice effort by Ray Durham, an infield hit for Cedeno. Seen Durham make a play like that against Mark Loretta in San Diego.
Well, he gets completely stretched out here, completely parallel to the ground when he finally backhands this ball. But it had to be a perfect exchange, glove hand to bare hand, because Cedeno runs so well. And he doesn't get it. He does the smart thing. If it doesn't come out perfect in your hand with a guy with speed, eat it.
Mabry, always a tough out. 2 for 2 lifetime against Williams. And the runner goes. Here's the throw. Not in time.
What a perfect throw from A.J. Pierzynski.
So the Cardinals think they can run against Williams.
Well, they definitely tried it early.
They did not waste any time.
Watch the leg kick of Jerome Williams. It's a pretty high kick, and that gives you about maybe a third of a step, and that's all the difference that the play took to favor the base stealer. And even at that, it was close. Boy, that throw was right on the dot.
Slowly hit. Snow has it to the bag, inning over. So no damage done with the infield hit in the stolen base. Giants are coming up 3-0. Grissom outside to Grissom. Marquise Grissom, 274, 15 home runs, 54 RBIs. And there's a base hit into right field. Carpenter's kind of perplexed as he walks around the mound.
Now, this game will make you talk to yourself, especially when you're making pitches and guys are hitting them. Starting to think, wait, what's the deal here? But tonight, it's been location that has failed Carpenter. He's given some guys some pretty good pitches to hit. The Giants, to their credit, have taken advantage of the gifts.
First pitch to Cruz is a called strike. On deck, Jerome Williams. Grissom aboard with nobody out. This could be a pair. That's one, and that's two.
Tell you what, they probably could have called that out, because on the slide at second base, Marquise Grissom was nowhere near the bag. He slid on his right cheek towards Edgar Renteria, trying to put some pressure to play. And I'm not sure he could have reached back and touched the bag. Watch him go to his right side here, chasing the shortstop.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, as a baseman, when that shortstop's going to come across the bag, he's going to be on that side.
Renteria on a big hop, and then he'll throw to Pujols, and after the hit, a quick inning for Carpenter. We will head to the third inning. It's 3-0 Giants. Here's Matheny, who takes a call strike. It'll be Matheny, Carpenter, and Womack. Matheny at .252, a couple of home runs, 30 RBIs, and that's up and in. Williams with a strikeout. He allowed an infield hit to Roger Cedeno. And a chopper to short for Cruz, and Cruz will flip to Snow. Well, in between innings, really just a great gesture. Will Clark shown on the scoreboard, and people in unison gave Will a nice standing ovation. And that's the first I've seen of Will's daughter.
Yep. That's a happy dad right there.
And I guarantee you she can hit. As Carpenter takes a strike.
Boy, he was a good Giant.
Man, was he ever.
Turned things around here in San Francisco.
Yeah, he made people want to come to the ballpark.
Made me want to come to the ballpark.
Yep.
He was fun to play with.
And you always looked when to see he was going to hit. Alfonso chooses not to take the big hop, but with Carpenter running, 2 out.
Will Clark, one of Mike Murphy's favorites. You can come to the ballpark, see him get here early, leave late. He and Robbie Thompson, Matt Williams, Kurt Manwaring, Chili Davis, they'd sit there after a ball game. They were in no hurry to get out of here, believe me. They stayed to talk ball. And they were fun to be around.
He always looked 87, 88, 89. He always looked to see what inning was it going to be. Clark, Mitchell, and Williams coming up.
Yep.
Because that was the inning you knew something was going to happen. Womack takes a pitch. Wally Bell called it a strike. Thank you very much. 1 ball and 1 strike.
It's funny too, because when he'd get fired up, he had a high voice, and the more fired up he got, the higher the voice got.
He could get dogs to howl all the way out in Danville. I'm telling you.
He could.
Sound like a kennel.
But he's got his game face on right now.
Up the middle, and a nice hop for Durham, and he throws out Womack. And that ends the inning. 3 ground balls. Giants are coming up. Top of the order. Giants scored 3 runs in the first inning, and they lead 3-0 as Ray Durham will bat first. And Durham on the first pitch, a slow roller. Womack gets to it quickly and throws him out. So Durham out on 1 pitch. Durham had hit a fly ball to the wall in right field in that first inning, and here's Michael Tucker, who hit one over the wall in right center field.
Yeah, in the first inning, the first 4 Giants got up there and hit rockets. The last, of course, Bonds' 2-run shot, which gave the Giants a 3-0 advantage. But if you're Chris Carpenter, you're thinking, hey, I got to do something different.
And a strike.
And what you could do different, if you know how to utilize the fastball, is change your grip, start throwing more sinkers.
Or that.
Cutters on the hands.
As Renteria behind Roland. Giants Baseball is brought to you in part by Nextel. Nextel coast to coast walkie-talkies in under a second. Nextel done. JT Snow with a double in the first inning. Snow on a half swing, falls behind, no balls and 1 strike.
Looks to me like Carpenter, who used a lot of pitches on the middle inside of the plate the first time through, starting to utilize that outside part of the plate with sink. Mentioned he's a guy that can do a lot of things with the ball. He can throw the cutter on the fastball, he can throw the sink on the fastball, he can change up, curveball, slider, go both sides of the plate. He can pitch.
2-1 now to Snow. Bonds to follow. And it's low, 3-1.
Now this is when you're hitting in that 3 spot ahead of Barry Bonds and you get a 3-1 count, you can just sit pretty. Look at something right down the middle, something to challenge you.
And he gets the call, and it's 3-2.
Boy, it didn't have to be strike. Little front door sinker. Definitely a pitcher strike.
3-2. Foul. And that got Snow pretty good on the right ankle bone.
Watch the front foot. This would be a better angle of it.
Ouch.
Right on the top of your foot. How come we're rubbing our feet right now?
Out. 3-2. And the walk. Bonds is coming up.
Carpenter irate with himself.
Bonds hit a 2-run home run in the 3rd.
And that's right where they wanted to pitch him. I mean, inside part of the plate, at the belt. Most guys in this world either break their bats or hook it foul. Not Bonds.
Up high to Bonds. 1 ball and no strike. Bonds fouls it back.
Woo. That's out there in the happy zone, folks. That's the one we talk about, elevate on contact. A little bit of a head pull, but right on it still. That was a mistake to location.
Inside corner. 1-2.
Pretty much the same pitch called strike 2 in the 3-1 count to JT Snow. Change grips, go to the inside corner. A little fastball that you give up on early, and then the movement brings it back on the inside corner.
Look out to the back leg. 2-2.
That breaking ball by design. Trying to throw it at his back foot. Really, it's better served if it's a little bit lower in the strike zone. But with Bonds, if you're pitching to him, you're trying to put everything you can on it. And oftentimes on a breaking ball, you'll miss badly inside with it because you're throwing it too hard.
Bonds high into left field. Mabry coming in. And he will make the catch, inning over. No runs, a walk, one left. We'll head to the fourth. It stays 3-0 Giants. Invited to, or they just figured if we were, we couldn't go?
Well, I got invited.
Sorry.
Just kid.
Renteria, Pujols, and Roland here in the fourth inning. 3-0 Giants.
I wasn't going to go without you, partner.
One hit for the Cardinals. Cedeno an infield hit. Renteria takes a strike.
This guy's a good two-strike hitter. Makes good adjustments and uses the middle part of the diamond extremely well. And you'll see him get a lot of front foot hits too. He get out there, hips will slide, he'll get on the front foot, the hands stay back. A good hands hitter, especially with 2 strikes.
Off the plate, 1-2.
That's a nice 0-2 pitch from Jerome Williams. His command tonight has been sensational. He hasn't really not had, there's been a whole lot of time in the stretch position. It's been mostly out of the windup.
A.J. Pierzynski is thinking maybe something's wrong with Williams because he's taking a lot of time. And uh-oh. And now Stan Connie, Felipe Alou out.
Remember early in the year he got pushed back a couple of days between starts, actually missed a start because he had some tenderness in his forearm, which he felt came about because he was throwing to first base in an underhand fashion.
Well, you see the look on the face?
That is not a happy look.
And I don't believe he's going to continue. And this is, here's the last pitch. This is not good news for the Giants.
Well, I mean, the snap of the curveball is perfect. I mean, this is what you wanted to look at. But boy, he went down there. Looks like his elbow lit up as he left the mound. But boy, when you watch a guy walk off when it's an elbow injury, you hold your breath, folks.
So it's Tyler Walker coming in. We'll be back. Well, the direct connect to the bullpen is brought to you by Nextel. Williams out, Walker in. And Walker will get as much time as he wants.
34th game that Tyler Walker has been in this year. 4-1 record, 4.74 ERA. 25 strikeouts in 38 innings. A fastball, slider, changeup pitcher. His fastball went up there anywhere between 90 and 96 miles per hour. I think he has been consistent with the strike one. Come at you early in the count. I think his best strikeout pitch is the slider. When it's working, it's got a straight down bite. A high 3/4 release. He'll throw a changeup. It's a good one too. He's a starter for a long time in his minor league career, so he can do a lot of things with the baseball. But he's a bull. He likes work and he will challenge.
Well, Sean Dunson was here visiting both the Giants and the Cardinals. He was, you know, walking around like Sean Dunson. He said, I want to meet Tyler Walker because he likes to pitch. I like him. He's not afraid to throw the fastball.
Yep. As Tyler Walker heats up, we are going to ask our Aflac trivia question. Question tonight. Albert Pujols has led the Cardinals in batting average for 3 straight seasons. Name the last Cardinal to lead the team 4 straight seasons.
I know that one.
Get it down?
I do. And I think he's a former Giant.
Yeah, I think I know who it is too.
And I think he's
A Bay Area native?
from here.
That's who I'm going with.
And I think he's a good guy.
Oh, yeah, yes, he is.
Now, when I first saw him, I didn't like him that much. Because he was running circles around us.
Couldn't get him out.
Not only couldn't get him out, but his
speed of game was way much different than mine.
Yep, I guess the guy.
So it's 1-2 to Edgar Renteria, now with Walker pitching. Alfonso, can he throw him out? No. Alfonso couldn't quite get the ball out of his glove, and for Renteria it'll be an infield hit.
Well, a 1-2 situation for Renteria, getting a hanging curveball, or a hanging slider rather, from Tyler Walker. Pretty good pitch to hit in a 2-strike count. And Alfonso showing good range to his left, but just too much speed for Renteria to really give Alfonso any kind of a chance to get him out.
Pop up.
One big bullet dodge right there. Let's take a look at our Chevron High Performance Spotlight. Highest batting average during the month of July. Well, it's been Albert Pujols, who's been in heat, a 389 average. Bond second to Pujols at 381. JT Snow's number 366. He's been lighted up. So a couple of Marlins, a couple of Giants, but on top, Pujols the Cardinal.
And here's Scott Rowland. And the pitch in the dirt, blocked by Przinsky.
Renteria always a threat to steal. I don't believe Renteria knows a whole lot about Tyler Walker out of the stretch. He has the green light. If he gets a jump, he'll go at any time. That throw over called by the bench.
One ball and no strikes. 2-0.
Rowland is not an easy out. His numbers obviously explain that, but what makes him so tough is he's got incredible balance, especially for a big guy. Head stays very still, very quiet lower body as he takes his stride.
Runner goes. Here's the throw. He got him. As Durham stayed with it.
Yeah, that came with a price. Nice play from Ray Durham, really staying with the one hopper. And when he received the ball, Renteria slid right into him. So the timing of the play was right to where he caught the ball. But the price was contact hit him right low on the wrist. He's lucky he hung on to this ball.
Well, Renteria got smoked too.
Watch your lips.
Watch how the glove came up and hit Renteria right in the face. So a couple of guys a little banged up, and it's 2-1 to Scott Rowland. Bonds side retired.
Jammed him. Good pitch.
So Walker comes in, settles things. Well, back at SBC Park, and we want to talk to you a little bit about high def. Now, this is the standard 4x3 picture, and with the miracle of high def, this is by 16:9 in our first high def splashdown home run. And our friends from Good Guys gives us a big fly into the water. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, it definitely makes a difference. I want to get that, I want to get that, I want to get that.
I want to get all of that. I want to get all of that. So high def, definitely something that I guess it's easy to say here to stay.
Oh, it's here to stay.
Yeah, so for more information about HD TVs, visit Good Guys, their locations, or go to goodguys.com.
Edgardo Alfonso. Alfonso takes a strike. Well, I guess if you're the Cardinals, Mike, you don't wish any ill health to the opposition, as this is grounded to short, as Renteria will throw out Alfonso. But I mean, they got to feel like this is a break for them.
No question. The way that Jerome Williams was going through the Cardinals lineup, it was all Jerome Williams. So no, you don't wish ill on your opponent once you leave town, but you look for all the breaks you can get in a series, especially when you consider that the Giants went into St. Louis, won the best out of 3 series against the Cardinals. The Cardinals, with the best record in baseball, they want to do the same thing with the Giants here.
Brzezinski takes a strike.
So from their perspective, getting Jerome Williams out of the ball game, a huge break.
Brzezinski down the line, and that's a base hit. Moving over is Cedeno. As Cedeno juggles it, but A.J. Brzezinski's got a 1-out single.
Boy, he went down and beat a good pitch. That was not a bad curveball. All right, now we're going to ask and answer our trivia question. Question tonight: Albert Pujols was the last Cardinal to lead the team in batting for 3 straight seasons. Named the last Cardinal to lead the team 4 straight seasons. Our survey said it was not Willie McGee. It was Stan Musial, and he did it 5 times.
Somebody get Willie's cell phone number. He's making us look bad. There's a pitch down low. 1 ball and no strikes. How could Willie McGee not do that?
Yeah, I figured he'd have to do it at least 4 or 5 times.
Although we're not surprised that Stan Musial did it.
Do you know what Willie McGee used to do? He used to do what A.J. Brzezinski just did his last at bat.
There's a base hit to right field. Brzezinski, is he going to go? Unlikely. And Grissom is now 2 for 2.
You could throw one of the nastiest hammers, curveballs, that you could throw. And I mean, right down there, nasty, right down there, right on the shoe tops, and he'd rake it, just like A.J. Brzezinski did right there. That was a good curveball. If you're Chris Carpenter, you're bummed out a guy beats this pitch. He hit it like he knew it was coming.
Davy Cruz hit into a double play in the 2nd. And what do you think Carpenter's pitching for?
A lot of sinkers, a lot of sliders right here.
In the dirt. We have not received any word about Jerome Williams. And when we do, we will pass it along. Just joined us, Williams, facing Edgar Renteria, threw a breaking ball and left the game. All right, let's check in with Bip.
Hey, thanks, Kipe. I just got word that Jerome Williams is going to X-ray at the moment, so we don't know the extent of the injury. We'll find out a little later.
All right, thanks, Bip. Three and 0.
Carpenter's a guy that doesn't walk many. 130 innings this year. He's only walked 29 guys. And he's got 105 strikeouts against the 29 walks.
And the walk.
That's a mistake right there.
How many at-bats you think Tyler Walker has had in his career with the bases loaded? Not many.
Tell you what, though, he is not a duck up there. He can hit a little bit. Dave Duncan going to come out there and just calm him down. You know, this is a good time for a pitching coach to come out, because right now Carpenter's he's ticked off. You know, 4 straight balls. A guy hitting in the 8-hole. He's pitching for the ground ball. Now all of a sudden you walk that guy in what could have been a 2-out situation facing the pitcher. Now you've got your hands full, and you get a little frustrated. When you get frustrated, you overthrow. Good time for a pitching coach to go out there, just calm you down, say, hey, look, not over here. Just refocus your pitcher and move on.
Here's Tyler Walker. And they're loaded. And a strike. Walker 0 for 5 this year. Is Wally expanded at one? Or is that a strike?
Well, this is not a strike. You can see how wide this is in the strike zone, but when you're a pitcher up there, you get used to having a wider strike zone.
Yeah. Come on.
Nobody hit that pitch.
That's foul.
Two pretty good curveballs thrown up there by Carpenter. Got a little greedy right there. He threw that curveball in the strike zone. I don't think that's what he really should do.
Not after he got the one that was 12 inches off the plate.
Gonna wing that thing wider. Because right now, Walker's gonna swing at anything. Good at bat right there.
Now
He didn't hit into a double play.
Durham is out of the game as well.
Durham, remember on the steal, top of the 4th inning, Ray Durham bangs his wrist into the face of Renteria, and he is now out of the game.
Giants are dropping like flies here on a Friday night. Outside to Nefi Perez.
Perez against Carpenter, 0 for 3, lifetime. He loves that pitch down and in. He throws a breaking ball down low around the knees that feeds his swing.
Brzezinski at third. At second is Grissom, and Cruz aboard at first. One ball and one strike to Nefi Perez. And it's 2-1.
You know, one thing about Nefi Perez, the bigger the at bat, it just seems like the more intensity he brings into the AB. He is not an easy out in these type of situations.
I think that's the one Nefi would like to hack at again. It's 2-2.
Well, Carpenter's been successful. He went in there with Snow. He went in there with Bonds, and now they set up away, but he throws it away from the target. Look at the reach back across the inside corner. That's that front door sinker that Wally Bell's been consistently calling a strike to the left-handed hitters. And Bell's getting an earful right now.
As he should.
And JT Snow's one of the guy giving it to him.
On the ground, Renteria. And the Cardinals are going to get out of it after the Giants loaded them up. It's 3-0 after 4. And so are these guys.
Yeah, they're feeling it. At a bit. It's Friday night. Come on.
Some creativity.
Anything goes, baby.
Here's Edmonds. Edmonds takes a strike. 3 unassisted for Jim Edmonds in the second inning. On the ground, 3 unassisted in the 5th inning.
Jim Edmonds grounding out to his former teammate, JT Snow.
Here's Roger Cedeno. An infield hit for Cedeno.
Walker, like a lot of guys coming out of the pen, just gets right in that stretch position, stays there. I think that's the one thing when you make that change from starting pitcher to relief pitcher. It's the one thing, the last thing you give up. That's the final concession. When you start going out of the stretch completely, you have definitely made the transition, and you have become a full-time bullpen guy.
One ball and one strike.
But that's the motion that you eventually begin to trust most. Because there are less moving parts. You got less things to worry about. Good fastball outside corner. For Tyler Walker, he sets his hands on his right side, lifts his knee up to his glove, steps to his target, throws. It's very simple. I think it's also a set of mechanics that work best for a big man, and Walker certainly is that. He's a big fella.
Now it's 3-2 to Cedeno.
Walker 6'3", about 230.
Got him. Good a change?
Yes, it was, and a good one.
Yeah. I mean, that's outstanding.
Roger Cedeno impressed with it. Pitch set up by great arm action. Perfect location. Grab some pine meat.
That has to be the hardest 3-2 pitch to hit.
I agree with you, man. I mean, if you have command with a changeup, you have an advantage over a hitter, especially if you feel confident enough to throw it at fastball counts. I mean, have you ever gone up there looking for a changeup?
No. Well, I mean, after being 0 for 40 against Mario Soto, I kind of changed my strategy and did.
How'd you do?
0 for 55. No, I mean, you look for changeup and you don't get it. I mean, then you look like an idiot on a fastball.
Yeah, you look like you've never played the game before.
Plus, the changeup is not really ever going to be in the strike zone, a good one. And he had a good one.
Well, what you said right there, though, I mean, think about it. The pitcher has all the advantage because the one thing a hitter does not want to have done to him is have a fastball thrown by him. That's like getting his jump shot blocked. It's just, you do not want to be late on a fastball. But how do you look for a changeup and still have the ability to react to a fastball? You don't.
Well, the only guy I knew that consistently looked for a changeup was a former teammate of mine in Cleveland, Ron Hassey. But he would actually look for a changeup against guys that didn't have one. And he would get them.
The Babe.
Right center field, struck well. Tucker on the move. He's not going to get it. And that's a big bounce up against the wall, and Mabry has got a 2-out double. And now Matheny's going to hit.
Big location mistake right at the belt. And Matheny, who's always been a good mistake hitter, he's always had a swing that stays in the strike zone a long time, takes advantage of good flat stuff. John Mabry has been a guy who throughout his career has covered that location well, and he certainly did there. Triples alley.
And here's Mabry, or Matheny. See, you got me all screwed up.
Yeah, I think I called Mabry Matheny. But he turned a triple into a double, though.
Matheny grounded out to Cruz in the third, and a strike. All right, so now you're on the mound.
Yep.
You got a 3-0 lead.
Yep.
You got a guy on second, first base open.
Yep.
What are you thinking facing the 8th place hitter with the pitcher on deck?
Well, Matheny's a smart hitter, but you're thinking 0-2 pitch every pitch. And that strike right there is a little bit too much strike zone, given the situation. You want to throw to the corner and let stuff fall out of the strike zone. This has got a little hang time. You can see the lean from Brzezinski. Watch him lean away and then have to come back to the ball. I mean, he wants that ball out of the strike zone. Ooh, good try. That's a great 0-2 pitch. That's a paralysis fastball. It's off the plate away. Some umpires give it to you. Pretty nice take there from Matheny. You better have some confidence in your eye to take a pitch like this 0-2.
The only way that's a strike is if Walker is hitting. Got him.
Mabry left stranded. Bonds will hit. 3-0 Giants as Michael Tucker steps in and he takes the first pitch high.
Tucker homered in the first, popped out to Renteria in the third. Now he pops this one to left as Mabry comes in and over towards the line, and he makes the catch. We talked to Felipe in between innings, and we asked him about Tyler Walker.
Yeah, he is. He's throwing in the 90s. He'd been worked. He worked 2 nights ago in San Diego, and because of Jerome's injury, he was forced to come in, and hopefully he'll give us one more inning and then see where we go from there.
Well, a lot going on right now. You lose your starting pitcher, you lose your starting second baseman. Good thing you have some.
Yeah, we just traded a guy early on, so we're a little short. There was a tag at second, and Duran can't swing a bat, so we had to get him out of there also.
All right, Felipe. Thank you. All right, here's J.T. Snow with 1 out. No balls and 1 strike. And that evens the count to Snow. A double for Snow in the first, a walk to Snow in the third. Snow fouls it out of play.
They are pounding him inside. Well, a reminder, Giants fans, we want to hear from you. Log on to www.sfgiants.com to tell us what you think of tonight's broadcast. Look for this graphic and let your thoughts be heard.
And Snow out on strike.
Hard stuff in, soft stuff away.
And here's Bonds.
It's been the theory in baseball for about the last 120 years. Employed well here. There's the soft stuff away. Got him out front on a changeup. Nice little turnover, the changeup. Worked its way away from the left-handed hitter. Good pitch.
Bonds takes a strike. Home run on the first. A pop up to left field in the third.
I think he was surprised by that first pitch being called a strike. He thought it was high. Changeup.
Well, the Padres took 3 out of 4 from the Giants, right?
How they doing tonight?
And they were looking forward to the Dodgers coming into Petco tonight. High hopes. Bonds pops it out of play. 5th inning. Dodgers 7, Padres 1.
So they're not doing too well.
No.
That's a Dodger team without Paul LaDuca, who was traded earlier today to Florida.
Bonds pops another one back. Yamamoto gone. Juan Encarnacion gone. Penny, Isap Choi, and a Double-A pitcher who's supposed to be a hot prospect, Bill Murphy. Inside the Bonds.
Oh, that's a good pitch right there.
Good shot of a packed house. And it's 3-2.
Tried to break and ball him on the inside corner, then went soft on the outside part of the play with a little changeup. Bonds very seldom helps you out.
Bonds off the glove of Pujols. Pujols will underhand it to Carpenter covering, and that ends the inning. We played 5 innings here at the ballpark. It's 3-0 Giants.
All right, fans, have you joined the 2004 Extreme Rewards Fan Club yet? Well, when you do, you can receive a fan favorite, the J.T. Snow bobblehead doll. Plus, you get all kinds of fun stuff. Automatic entry in our monthly prize drawings for autographed items and extreme experiences. Call 415-972-2232 today.
3-0 in favor of the Giants.
Here's a gift. When you get a pitcher leading off this deep into a ball game, it's a gift if you can get him out and get a quick first out. Right now, Chris Carpenter's on the take mode. He is going to take at least one pitch here in the 2-0 count. You're hitting 114. You don't earn the right to swing 2-0 leading off an inning.
Two balls and 1 strike.
They may put the take sign on again. Although looking at Jose Oquendo, the third base coach for the Cardinals, he gave the age-old swing through thing. He stood up there like a hitter and he said swing.
JT Snow will try to track this one down, but it's over by the seats. And a souvenir.
It's Willie McGee.
Believable. We talk about Willie McGee, and it turns out that he's in attendance. Willie?
Or at least he has his uniform on. I miss Willie McGee. He was one of the best guys I ever met in the game.
He's awesome. You know what? He should come to the park. Willie, if you're watching, get out to the yard. 2-2. Got him.
Boy, good hard slider. See you later. Grab some pine.
Giants made a trade today. Ricky Leday coming over from the Phillies. And Felix Rodriguez will pitch in the city of brotherly love.
A fan favorite and a real favorite in the clubhouse, Felix Rodriguez. This is going to be a tough trade for Mike Murphy. And really all the Giants that got to know Felix. A gentleman. We wish him well.
You know who else? Going to be tough is Womack. This could be extra bases, and this could be a triple. And Womack is going to end up at third base. And it's a one-out triple.
Well, we're talking about Willie McGee. Watching Womack go from home to third reminded you of Willie McGee. They had really overloaded the defense on the left center field side. They exposed the right center field gap, and he finds it. Good shot of where Marquise Grissom had played Womack prior to the pitch. And watch this dart flying around the bases. He can pick him up and put him down. Womack, one of the fastest guys in the game. That's a pretty stride right there, folks. Stand-up triple and an easy one.
Dave Righetti comes out. So the other one that might be tough on is Woody.
Kirk Reeder.
Felix spent a lot of time together. They've been on this team quite a long time. There's Jim Brower in the bullpen. Now Jason Christensen will join Brower. This is the entire bullpen tonight. His help, I'm sure, is on its way as we speak from Fresno. Did he go around? No.
You know, this situation here for Williams, I mean, you can get a little greedy and try and pitch for the strikeout early in the count, but the one thing you cannot do, you cannot walk Renteria. The Giants are playing the defense back. They will give up the run to get it out. Middle infielders are playing deep.
2-0.
All right, there's your two tries to try and get a strike advantage. Now you got to come at him. You've got to make him swing the bat here. It's a tough situation too for a third baseman because Renteria will drop one down.
That's a base hit. So Womack comes in to score. The Cardinals are on the board. And now the big fellas are coming up.
Well, when a guy can do this, like Renteria just did, to go the opposite way. I mean, he didn't get greedy there. He had an advantage of the count 2-0. Stays inside, goes opposite field. Sweet hitting right here. That's big league hitting. Let the ball get to you. Don't get greedy. Take what he's going to give you. Went outside with a fastball, a little bit high. Still on the outside corner. He beat you away. You tip your cap.
Felipe Alou's coming out. Brower's coming in.
A handsome ball dude right there, the former mayor of San Francisco. Ball dude tonight, Art Agnews. Always a Giants fan and a great friend of the Giants. All the years that the Giants were trying to get a downtown initiative passed, he was right there leading the charge. Mayor from 1988 to 1993. Great guy. Lives in Potrero Hill.
And hasn't had a play yet tonight.
No, we need to get him some work down there.
Here's Brower to Pujols, and it's a strike. Brower not afraid to pitch.
Man of the hour, Jim Brower, in his 57th game this season, 6-5, 3.52 ERA. And a good hard sinker. He can get a ground ball for you.
Chopped foul, and now it's 0-2. Brower had success last year against the Cardinals as a starter.
Said we keep an eye on the professional grade, brought to you by GMC Truck. Tonight versus Jerome Williams, who had an 0 for 16 facing Roland and Pujols. They were both 0 for 1, a strikeout by Roland and a flyout. And that was it, as Jerome Williams' night ended very early. He left the game with arm problems in the 4th inning.
So the Cardinals on the board here in the 6th. High and away. 1-2. Ask me about that Dodger-Padre game.
Okay, how's it going, the Dodger-Padre game? Padres coming back?
No. LA 9, San Diego 1.
Hey.
Here's the 1-2. Out of play.
That was a hang right there. You do not make mistakes to Pujols very often where he doesn't capitalize on them. And a 1-2 count, this is a gift. And he just missed it.
Yeah, he was trying to hit that over Old Navy splash landing.
Well, he's got the power to go the opposite way and hit it out of the ballpark.
Look out. Struck well. Tucker, a long run. Tucker makes the catch. And hustling back is Renteria. Only in this park is that an out.
Oh, my. Now let's take a look at just how far Michael Tucker went to get this one. He got on his horse and headed right towards Triples Alley, and the high backhander right at the triangle where the grass meets the warning track. And that's a big league hang with him. Only in this ballpark. Any place else, that's a round tripper.
Not out of the woods yet. Here's Roland. Roland is 0 for 2. He struck out in the 2nd, lined to Bonds in the 4th. Wow. Tucker's got his running in for the night. And that one was 4 feet short, and now Renteria down to 2nd.
Yeah, too much pine tar in this one.
What do you think? Wild pitch?
Nah.
No? Think that's a pass ball?
That will be a wild pitch. When they bounce out there about 4 feet from home plate, if you're A.J. Przinsky, you have no clue what this thing is going to do. That barely made it past the grass.
Well, if you're Brower, I mean, that's a big 90 feet.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, this guy only comes in with 92 RBIs. Pitch is low, and you got Edmonds to follow, so you figure you're going to go after Roland.
You get in the middle of the Cardinals lineup, and that's a rough spot to be in. They got some thump to throw at you.
2-0. And an off-speed pitch that was up, but I don't think Roland was going to swing at anything other than a fastball, so he took it. 2 balls and 1 strike. Three and 1.
Right here with an open first base, I mean, you don't have to just challenge at the belt here, even with a 2-run lead.
3-2.
2 times he's gone in fastball counts with breaking balls, and 2 times he's gotten strikes with it. The 2-0 hanging slider, he got a strike 1, and here a pretty good breaking ball in a 3-1 count. He gets the 2nd strike. And here's where Roland will not sit on any one pitch. He'll just react to the hand.
And this one is going to be a fair ball.
That's better. That's better than being good right there.
Not too much you can do about that one.
That's a swinging bunt.
So here's Edmonds, who's 3 for 12 lifetime against Brower.
Well, you're right. There's not a whole lot you can do about this. Blow on it a little bit maybe, but that's a perfect swinging bunt. Can't do any better than that. No. And if you're Jim Brower, you're thinking, ugh.
Yep. So here's Edmonds. Edmonds has grounded out twice to J.T. Snow. Now Snow holding Roland close at first. Off the plate, 1-0.
Now that's a pretty good pitch right there. You know what happens is you sit up on the inside corner, and if the ball goes away from the target, even if it's across the plate, sometimes you don't get it. But that was not a bad pitch.
Brzezinski out.
I think Brzezinski may have gone out there just to calm down a little bit too, because he felt he probably had strike one, didn't get it. And when you're facing a guy like Edmonds or any other good hitter who can hurt you with a long ball, you get a little ticked off if you don't get the one strike advantage, because the difference between 0-1 and 1-0 is huge.
And that's going to be trouble. Roland represents the tying run, is digging. And he's going to come around to score. Edmonds is going for 3, and this game is tied. So a new ball game with 3 in the 6th for the Cardinals.
Little breaking ball, some hang time on it right at the belt. And Edmonds is not going to miss it. And once it finds Triple's alley, Edmonds with good speed, an easy triple.
And now Cedeno. And Cedeno takes low. So the infield hit by Roland does hurt Brower and the Giants.
Yeah, it did.
Base hit. Cedeno slaps it right by Alfonso, and now it's a 4-run 6th inning, and the Cardinals take the lead. And Brower, the only out he's picked up in this inning was a long running catch that Michael Tucker made on Albert Pujols.
And here is that play you're talking about, Kipe. Michael Tucker going a long way, the high backhander. Catching it low in the glove, beautiful play. And outs have been hard to find.
Take a look at what's on tap, brought to you by Corona. Tomorrow night, KTVU. Sunday is a KMBR, your Giants radio network, and then back on FSN Bay Area on Tuesday against the Reds. It'll be high def on Tuesday, so check us out as Mabry's going to be walked intentionally. This inning started out with Tyler Walker striking out Chris Carpenter, and Carpenter's got to be digging this. He's going to be in the on-deck circle when Matheny comes up.
Yeah, with the lead. Something he hasn't had all game.
And indeed he does. Three hits after 2 were out. And Matheny 0 for 2, a ground ball and a strikeout. 4-3 Cardinals. Giants with 3 in the first, Cardinals with 4 here in the 6th. Swing and a miss. 0-1.
Brower's been up with the breaking ball this whole inning. I think that's what the conversation that Righetti had with him.
1 ball and 1 strike.
The adjustments that you make in trying to get your breaking ball down in the strike zone when you're hanging it. You try and shorten your stride a little bit. Try and get a little more compact with your take back. Get on top of your pitches.
That's a fair ball.
Never hang a breaking ball.
Here comes Cedeno. He's going to score. Here comes Mabry. He's going to score. And this has turned into a huge inning. Matheny's double clears the bases.
Breaking ball hanging right up there at the belt, above the belt. And Matheny, who's in the defensive mode right now, he's protecting, takes advantage of the mistake. I think a pretty good decision there, too, with 2 outs. Pitcher on deck, challenged that relay.
Alfonso will make the play as Snow stays on the bag and the inning is over. So, how things can change. It's now 6-3 Cardinals.
Welcome back to SBC. I happen to be standing with San Francisco's beloved, Mr. The Thrill, Mr. Clark. How are you today?
Doing great, man. Came in town having a little vacation with the family, and was fortunate enough to have some friends that had some seats here. Come and see this game. Be here tomorrow for the Cardinals game again, and then probably next week for the Cubs series.
Well, as a retired player, as a retired hitter, do you notice any tendencies from these pitchers out there?
Hey, listen, they need to get them cutters down. Them hanging cutters get whacked.
Thanks a lot, Will.
All right,
see you
buddy.
later, man.
Be good.
Okay.
All right, Biff. Alfonso takes a called strike. So I guess Will could even see that those pitches a little bit up in the strike zone. Well, I guess as an old hitter, you notice that.
Yeah, you notice hangers.
Taguchi now in right field. Oh, 0-2 to Edgardo Alfonso.
Yeah, you go to a ball game, having been an ex-player, and Will Clark, he's looking at how the defense sets up. He's looking at the game the same way he did as a player.
Taguchi into the game just in time.
Boy, he got a very quick first step on that ball. They say this guy can play. Say he's as good defensively as Ishiro is, or as Shinjo. If you're going to do that, you better have a good first step, and he certainly showed it on this play. Inside out, good hack. And boy, right off the get-go, Taguchi made that look easy. Nice play.
Krasinski singled in the 4th.
I always love that story about Darrell Evans used to talk. When he got traded over to the Detroit Tigers in 1984, they had an old-timers game. And Al Kaline, Tigers great, was in uniform that day, playing for the old-timer Tigers. And Darrell said, you know, he was in awe of Kaline. He loved him as a kid. Now he's sitting there watching him strap it on as an old-timer. You'd think in an old-timers game, guy go out there and just go through the motions. Not so. Said he was looking at Al Kaline before the game, before the old-timers game, go out there with his glove, look up at the sky, and check and see how his sunglasses were with the sky there in the daytime. He had the eye black on, and he was taking it serious, just like he did as a player. And that's how Will looks at it. That's how every other big leaguer looks at it.
Foul. A.J. Przinsky stays alive. It's 2-2. Well, what are the odds that Kaline playing in that game would shade guys a certain way? Probably pretty good. Przinsky had a high fastball just to stay alive.
Little emergency swing. Yeet. Let your hands do the walking through the yellow pages right there.
Got him.
Well, Giants baseball is brought to you in part by your Bay Area Mercedes-Benz dealers, who remind you that's life here and we're part of it. Kind of a quiet night at McCovey's Cove.
Bonds did hit one in the water in the first. Carpenter, after the first inning, settled down the next couple of innings. Giants did load the bases in the fourth inning, but came up with nothing. There's a broken bat bouncer to Scott Rowland. Side retired. 6 complete. It's 6-3 Cardinals.
Time now for Carl's Jr. in your face. We go back to the fourth inning. Edgar Renteria on first base, leadoff single. He tries to steal against A.J. Brzezinski, throws a one-hopper. Taken nicely by Ray Durham, who slaps a tag on the face of Edgar Renteria. And that, my friends, is in your face because Edgar, he was out. And that is your Carl's Jr. in your face. However, Ray Durham had to leave the ball game.
Here's Kevin Correa, new pitcher, in to face Tony Womack, and the first pitch is low. Dustin Moore is now in right field. Tucker moves from right to center. Grissom is out of the game. It's a double switch. Moore will hit 9th. And a strike.
Kevin Correa called up out of Fresno, his 4th game this year. 6 2/3, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts. Has given up a couple home runs.
There's a base hit off the bat of Womack. Tucker gets to it. Womack with a wide turn.
Hit a changeup. Well, watch this. If you're a young hitter, watch the turn that Womack makes around the bag, and that's the type of a turn that you anticipate any kind of a miscue by an outfielder, and you're in position to take advantage of it. That's a good aggressive turn with anticipation to an error. Good hustle right there from Womack. That's how you do it.
Outside to Renteria. 1 ball and no strikes.
Correa's a pitcher who's got lots of movement with the fastball. He can cut it, he can sink it. He'll throw it anywhere between 90 and 94 miles an hour. Got a changeup and a hard slider he'll feature. That's a strikeout pitch.
And Womack goes. There's a bouncing ball back to Correa. Thought about it, but then goes to first.
Well, when you're at this part of the lineup, you cannot gamble on not getting in and out on a play. You have to get it out. And Correa, as you're taught to do on a ground ball comebacker, anticipate the lead out. Take a look. But if it's not there, it's not 100% there, you can't take it. And that's a smart play.
Here's Pujols. 0 for 3, but a bomb to right center field that Tucker, who was playing right field in the 6th, tracked it down. And a hanging breaking ball for a called strike.
Boy, you saw the head snap back from Pujols looking at Wally Bell as if to say that can't be a strike. Seen a lot of high strikes called tonight.
Look out. It spins Pujols around. 1 ball and 1 strike.
And Kevin Correa is not afraid to pitch inside.
Giants led 3-0 until the 6th. And that's when the Cardinals scored all of their runs as they sent 10 men to the plate. Up and in again to Pujols. 2 balls and 1 strike. Dodgers leading the Padres 9-1. And now Womack goes, and it's low. The throw to third, not in time. Correa never checked on Womack.
That sets A.J. Brzezinski. I mean, a veteran catcher just feels like he got no chance. And that's a steal that goes against his record. But that's a steal. Kevin Correa, one look, and got predictable to the one look. And a veteran, experienced base runner like Womack taking advantage of the mistake. You have to vary your looks.
And the walk.
You have to look one time. You have to look twice. You have to look once. You have to look 3 times. Just cannot get predictable. You get predictable, you're going to get pegged.
Here's Scott Rowland, who picked up an infield hit in the 6th inning. Outside to Rowland. 1 ball and no strike. Double play gets Correa and the Giants out of the inning. And a good swing by Rowland. 1 ball and 1 strike.
You know, every year you go to spring training and pitchers, they go through the PFPs, pitchers fielding positions. And they're just continuous exercises where you'll get out there and you'll be on the mound and they'll hit comebackers or they'll hit balls to the right side of the infield and they're yelling at you, get over, get over, get over. And they just drill it into your head, get over to first base. Well, that's one of those things that every once in a while a guy will have a head spasm and he won't cover. Well, looking back runners at second base and varying your head looks is another thing that gets constantly reminded from the pitching coach to the pitcher during the course of a year, time and time and time and time again. But every once in a while, the guy will get out there and he'll get brain dead and he'll start focusing on the guy at the plate and he'll forget to do that. And it's frustrating for a pitching coach. But you have to really tip your cap to Tony Womack because he took advantage of it. A lot going on out there. Pitcher, you're trying to get that guy out. You got a hitter up there like Albert Pujols. You're trying to get him out. You're trying to make a good pitch. You're concentrating on the strike zone. But if you don't think about those other things before you throw the pitch, you're going to lose 90 feet. The Cardinals took advantage of it.
2-2 to Rowland. Now it's 3-2, and it's a pretty good chance that Pujols will be going.
One look, as soon as he turns home, boy, Womack was gone. Brzezinski, no chance. Steve.
3-2. Pujols goes. A bullet past Alfonso. Coming in to score is Womack. Pujols will move on down to third. And again, the Cardinals with runners at first and third and a run in. Give Rowland his 93rd RBI of the year. And now it's Jim Edmonds.
For a guy with power, I think he's got one of the best 2-strike approaches in the game. Stays spread wide, head still. He's got real good balance through his swing and lightning wrist. I mean, his hands are very quick. I mean, he put a charge in that ball.
800 RBIs now for Scott Rowland. Here's Edmonds. Inside corner strike, 0-1. Edmonds pounded a triple to knock in a pair of runs in the 6th.
I mean, he does so many funny things up there. I mean, that take right there, I mean, he kind of backs out. You just get the idea when you're pitching to it that you can go back in there again. Sets it up, sucks you in. He'll look so bad on a swing on a pitch. You'll think there's no way that this guy can hit it. You go back in there again, rakes it.
Right now, Correa out in front 0-2, but I guess your point is be careful. And he got him.
Just a challenge, a 2-strike fastball challenge. Set up inside corner, front door sinker. Bunches them all up. Look at the elbows bent through the swing. All bound up. See ya.
Here's Taguchi. Taguchi batting for the first time. Hitting .264. Left center field. Tucker coming in, but it's going to be Bonds who will make the catch. A run on 2 hits. It's now 7-3. It's the middle of the seventh inning stretch time, and it's brought to you by Jack Daniels. 7-3 Cardinals. 6 in the 6th, 1 in the 7th. As Davy Cruz will lead things off for the Giants, and then Dustin Moore, followed by Nefi Perez. Number of things have happened. Felix Rodriguez traded before the game. Williams and Durham depart injured early in this one. Giants with a 3-0 lead, and then later on they trail 7-3.
Chris Carpenter just his 81st pitch here in the 7th inning. He has made some really nice adjustments after getting rocked the first 4 hitters of this ball game. He has shut it down.
Ray King in the bullpen. Giants need base runners. That's hit well to left. Back. Mabry out of here. And it's 7-4.
That'll qualify as a base runner.
A quick one.
Kind of a wake-up call in the Giants dugout. Things have been pretty quiet since the first. Homer number 3, Davy Cruz, and he beat a pretty good pitch. A little knee-high, kind of a hang-time slide ball. See ya. Ooh, almost a great play by the fan. Clank.
Here's Dustin Moore. And a pop-up. And it's rolling in front of Renteria.
Well, tomorrow's game is sold out, but a reminder for those of you who aren't coming. Tomorrow's the day when the Giants organization is going to honor the 50th anniversary of the 54 Giants who won the World Series against the Cleveland Indians. And members of this team will include the great Willie Mays, Monty Urban, Alvin Dark, Whitey Lockman, Joe Gargiola. They'll be on hand, as will a lot of other ex-Giants on that 54 team. It's presented by SBC Nortel Network. So get out here early, right around 6:15. Game time 7:15, as game 2 will be. Giants, Cardinals, of course. And also a reminder that from 2 o'clock to 7 o'clock, out of China Basin Park, Cubby Cove, Giants can be our summer fan fest. It's going to be there free to the public.
Womack gets a big hop, and Nefi Perez is retired. 2 quick outs, bringing Tucker to the plate. Tucker homered in the first. Since then he's popped out twice. Tucker hit one into right center field. And that was a big fly.
I mean, the adjustment that Carpenter made, I mean, he got down around the knees after that, after the Bonds home run. A couple hitters later, and then after that, he really hasn't made many mistakes.
Double switch time. Tony La Russa comes out. Cardinals lead 7-4. Well, back at SBC Park is the Cardinals leading this one 7-4. Tonight's game marks the first ever broadcast of high definition television for FSN Bay Area. Now, for those of you watching at home without HD TV, here's a little demo of what you're missing. A high def home run. Pretty cool. Kind of puts you right there, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Big difference.
There's a strike to Michael Tucker. Reggie Sanders now in right field. King in 54 games, a terrific 2.13 ERA. The home run off the bat of Edgardo Alfonso to win a game. And that was last weekend in St. Louis as Tucker takes high and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, you ask, where is the weakness on this Cardinal team? And the answer is there isn't any. There's a base hit off the bat of Tucker.
Now they're a good baseball team. You know, we talked about where they rank in the National League. They rank #1 in hitting, #4 in pitching, #5 in defense. But it goes beyond that. I mean, it managed well by Tony La Russa. You got guys who come off the bench and do a number of things, and they complement each other. Got a real good chemistry over right there. I would be surprised if they made any major changes in their team by way of trades, the way their chemistry is set up now.
Inside to Snow, 1-0.
Paul Jockey, the general manager of the Cardinals, who is a very good general manager, aware of how sensitive chemistries are this time of year. I really don't think he's going to mess with it.
On the ground, but it's right at Pujols, and that will end the inning. Giants are running the Cruz home run. We will go to the 8th inning. It's 7-4 Cardinals.
4 Cardinals. We're in the top of the 8th inning. Time now for our Nissan drive of the game. We go back to the first inning. 1-0 ball game. Runner at first base. Barry Bonds steps up and spanks one into the Cove. Home run number 27 on the year. Home run number 685 in his Hall of Fame career. That is our Nissan drive of the game.
Here's Mabry. And on the first pitch, he pops one to right field for Dustin Moore. So Correa coming in the 7th, giving up a run, now pitching the 8th. And Matheny, who really was, I mean, the Cardinals had a number of huge hits in the 6th inning. Edmonds obviously had one that not only tied the game, but well, it did tie the game. It knocked in 2, and then Cedeno with a base hit, but the Giants walked Mabry intentionally to get to Matheny, and then he doubled down the left field line to knock in 2. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike.
You know, when these two teams meet, I mean, if you're playing in these ball games, it's just, you just keep adding on. You don't ever think it's enough. Every hit is big. Every hit with a runner on, huge. Every run scored, not enough. That's the mentality you have to have in games like this.
Correa with his 2nd strikeout. And here's former Giant Reggie Sanders.
Got him to chase. Climb the ladder way up above the letters. Grab some pine.
I used that like maybe twice when you were gone.
How'd it work?
Not bad.
Did it feel good?
Well, the guys in the truck reminded me that Grab some pine really wasn't effective unless you dropped the meat at the end of it.
Well, you got a good meat.
So
Dropped it on
kind
me.
of like grab some pine. And then in the truck they're going, you got to say meat. I went, meat. So it was like 2 hitters later I dropped the meat on somebody.
And that feels good, doesn't it?
1 ball and 1 strike to Sanders.
It's therapeutic. Meat.
Tomorrow night, Morris against Reeder. Sunday, Williams against Schmuck. Now, Reeder. Nine and 4 against the Cardinals. Got him. Correa settle him down. Barry Bonds will lead things off for the Giants. It's 7-4 Cardinals.
Meat. A reminder of our next Fox Sports Net telecast will be Tuesday at 7 o'clock when the Giants take on the Reds, the first of a 3-game series with Cincinnati, and that is game 1 of the series, and it will be seen in high def. So check it out. Meat.
Here's Bonds. Bonds is homered. He's popped out and he's grounded out. And against King, he's 1 for 9.
That's ownage.
But the 1 hit, a home run. So Bonds will casually get rid of the guard and go on down to first. Not a problem.
Well, not a problem, but it will not be forgotten. Just got that elbow piece in front to protect himself. Listen to it. Let's listen.
Sounded like ribcage to me.
Well, he's not happy about it.
King departs. We'll have a new pitcher. We'll be back. Here on FSN Bay Area, it's 7-4 in favor of the Cardinals. Giants fans, we want to hear from you. Log on to sfgiants.com to tell us what you think of tonight's broadcast. Look for this graphic and let your thoughts be heard. Who's that guy out there?
Julian Tavares, the new right-hander for the Cardinals. This is his 50th game, 2-3. Having a real good year for Tony La Russa. 2.97 ERA, 29 strikeouts at 39 and a third. And he's been the guy that has set up Jason Isringhausen a lot. Good hard sinker, big curveball.
And Alfonso takes a strike.
And Tavares has always had that wild hair too, where about every 5th fastball he'll throw one up around your chin. And he is not impressed Edgardo Alfonso.
No, not at all. And ownage is ownage. I don't know how many times we say that, but it's amazing.
It really is. When a guy's got ownage on a hitter, or when a hitter has ownage on a pitcher, I mean, stuff like this falls. This is a Jam Johnson. Nice pitch. Probably broke his bat. Knock.
Ownage.
And you get hits like that.
Ownage.
What does Hawk Harrelson call that?
He calls that a, well, for the other team, as John Miller explained to us one night, that's a duck snort. For the White Sox, that is a line drive into center field.
It's good hit. Good hit.
Brzezinski outside, 1-0.
Right now, Tavares is underneath where he needs to be in his release. And when he is underneath the pitch, he's pushing it and he misses high. He is not in that little window he needs to be to get sink around the knees.
2-0. Pedro Feliz to follow.
But every pitch you throw, you evaluate and you adjust off of. And he adjusted, got the ball down around the knees where he needs to be. He's looking for a ground ball.
And the plot thickens here in the 8th. Dave Duncan watching this 3-0 pitch. Strike. I was going to say Tavares took a little off, but the radar gun said 92s. He didn't take much off.
He's always had movement. He's always had that big sink. See the rosin on his hat?
On the ground, Womack to Renteria, and there's the double play.
Well, that's the beauty of Julian Tavares. He's got big velocity and big sink, and he gets ground balls. And when you have guys that can field and play infield like the Cardinals have, you're going to get this kind of help. Ball was hit hard, and Tavares backed off it. He knew where his middle infielders were. 1 pitch, 2 outs. Nice feed up high, plenty of time. They knew that Brzezinski's not getting down that line quickly. Kind of a pretty feed here too from Womack.
Yeah, get it out of the glove, let your shortstop see it. And here's Feliz now batting with 2 outs, and a dribbler foul. No balls and 1 strike. .259 with 14 home runs, 56 RBIs. By the way, Randy Johnson started tonight for Arizona and took the loss. Feliz pops this one just to our right. I don't know how many times we've heard it or seen it written about how 2 starts ago it was his last start in a Diamondbacks uniform. A 1-2.
You know, that was not a bad pitch. But in the 0-2, Matheny set up completely off the plate away. He's nowhere near the strike zone. This thing goes, I think, across the plate in the inside corner.
Probably a strike. Popped up. Center field. Edmonds, Renteria, and it's Edmonds who makes the running catch. Well, an inning that looked like something might happen, but the double play ended it. 7-4 Cardinals. A little activity in the Cove, but not a whole lot, as here's the former Pirate, the former Cardinal, Jason Christensen, to face Tony Womack. And a strike to Womack. Womack. Couple of hits, couple of runs scored. 1 ball and 1 strike. Ask me about that Dodgers score.
How are they doing? Padres coming back?
Yep. It's now 12-1 Dodgers.
Ooh.
Womack takes low. That was Weaver against Eaton.
Yeah, Adam Eaton was hot coming into this game, pitching well.
Cruz will have to hurry. He does, and they get the speedy Womack. Here's Renteria.
That's a play you know you have to charge as a shortstop. And you better be clean on the exchange, glove hand to bare hand. I always love that line Joe Gargiulo said about guys with speed. Speed has no slump.
Renteria, couple of hits. The Cardinals have 11.
Hits, 6 of them in the 6th inning. That was the difference in this game.
Up and in to Renteria. 2 balls and no strikes. So a night where Jerome Williams came out after 3 innings, facing Edgar Renteria, and threw a pitch, didn't feel right, left. We haven't heard any reports since then as Isringhausen's getting loose. Two and one to Renteria. 3 balls and 1 strike.
Pretty good pitch. Jason Christensen finding out that Wally Bell's umpired strike zone tonight a little bit high. That pitch at the knees he did not get.
Alfonso recovers, throws, got him.
Beauty about being a third baseman, you know you have time on a redo. Ball gets to you so quickly, even if you don't come up with it cleanly. Now this is the tip for you young infielders. If you miss it the first time, go down with the bare hand. He does nicely. Accurate throw. No error. Stays with the play. Good hustle right there.
2 outs. Here's Pujols. And it's low for a ball, 1-0.
One thing that is so consistent with Pujols, Roland, and Edmonds is how still their head stays in their swing. They really give themselves a good look. They all spread out, very quiet little bodies, but that head stays very still through the swing. Just solid.
Two and 0.
And they wait. And they wait. And they're patient to one pitch, one side of the plate. And if you come into the side they're looking for, they're going to hit it.
Big chopper. Cruz stays with it. And that ends the inning. So 3 ground balls. 2 to Cruz, 1 to Alfonso. And the home half of the 9th is coming up. 9th inning. Home half, 7-4 in favor of the Cardinals as Jason Isringhausen comes in. 26 saves for Isringhausen.
43 strikeouts and 49 2/3, and this is what he thinks. He thinks strikeouts, and he's got plenty of stuff to get the strikeout. You're going to see a lot of fastballs, 95 plus. He can effectively pitch up around the chest, and he's got a nasty over-the-top hook. You look at Isringhausen, he really reminds you of John Wetland a few years ago, who was a closer with Montreal, the Yankees, Texas. Over the top release. And he is aggressive. He will come right at you.
Davy Cruz homered in the 7th inning, trying to get aboard here in the 9th, and the first pitch is a high strike, and it's 0-1. And that's foul down the right field line. Off the plate, 1-2 is Isringhausen.
Have a new look, little cutter. Isringhausen, who came up with the Mets organization, was a starter.
Right field, moving over is Reggie Sanders, who knows that outfield very well. 1 out.
And when you come up as a starter, you're going to learn how to do a few things with that baseball, and that's something that he has taken with him into his closing role. So a guy with that kind of arm speed, that kind of strength, good blazing fastball, 95 miles an hour on an average. And you just can't sit on one pitch with him. Kind of reminds you of Eric Gagne in that, you know, he's got a lot of different ways he can get you.
Dustin Moore with a base hit. Solid single into center field, bringing Nefi Perez to the plate. The Giants and the Cardinals all looking at the same thing. They're trying to get Bonds up this inning.
Dustin Moore jumping on a first pitch challenge for Isringhausen, going right back up the middle. Good disciplined approach. They're looking for base runners, and I think he's thinking center to the field the whole AB. He's going to get something to hit, looking for a fastball up, got it, and delivered. Dustin Moore is a tough guy to jam. He's got a quick bat middle in.
There's a strike. And the dirt is Nefi Perez. Came in the 4th inning when Ray Durham injured himself on a tag.
Felipe Alou looking for base runners.
Pujols will take it as Perez bounces out for the 3rd straight time. And now it's Michael Tucker coming up with Moore at second base and 2 outs. And Tucker takes a strike.
Tucker's had pretty good success against Isringhausen lifetime. 3 for 8 with 2 homers. I think that's ownage.
Yep.
Another cutter. That's a nasty little pitch.
One ball and 1 strike. And a bullet foul, 1-2.
Went right back with the cut fastball again. It's a pitch he's not really concerned so much about the velocity. He's got more fastball he can give you velocity-wise, but the movement on it very subtle. It's got a little bore action that runs flat, about 3 or 4 inches of break that moves in towards the hands of a lefty. Very effective pitch when thrown at the belt of a left-hander in the inside corner.
Tucker stays alive.
Ooh, just missed that one. Good hack. But, I mean, nice little subtlety there from Isringhausen. After 2 cut fastballs in the inside corner, went with a fastball that had a little movement running away, a 2-seamer on the outside part of the plate. I mean, Isringhausen in the 8 at-bats against Tucker, the 3 hits he's given up and the 2 home runs he's given up, he knows his swing. He knows his hot spots.
Went in 2-2.
Sink away, cut in, trying to throw it above the hands. Trying to muscle up a bit there on the 1-2 count. Missed high.
Tucker lifts one into right center field. This should do it as Edmonds is there, and that's the ball game. Game 1 in this series goes to the Cardinals, as it's a come from behind win for St. Louis, and Chris Carpenter, who gave up 3 runs in the first, only to watch Jerome Williams leave the game due to an injury, and then the bullpen give up 6 runs in the 6th inning, and that ends up being the difference. 7-4 is your final, and we'll have more from SBC Park right after this. It's your final 7-4 Cardinals.
All right, let's take a look at the Western standings in the National League. The Dodgers, who won tonight with their 60th victory, they whomped the Padres 12-1. They now have a 3.5 game lead over the Padres, and the Giants are 5.5 game back of the Dodgers in 3rd place. So some concern, Kipe, with what's going on here as the Cardinals take game 1 with not only the loss, but the condition and the health of Jerome Williams, who left in the 4th inning.
Well, Jerome Williams and Ray Durham, but this is what happened with Jerome Williams facing Edgar Renteria.
Threw a 0-2 curveball and walked off the mound, and his arm went limp. Now he's left the stadium. He's gone to get x-rays. We have not heard as to the result of the x-rays, but he immediately called out the skipper, Felipe Alou, and then Ray Durham receiving a one-hopper from A.J. Brzezinski, putting a tag on Edgar Renteria. He made contact with his wrist in the head of Renteria, and he had to leave the ball game. So again, we are anxious as the end of the ball game to go down to the Giants clubhouse to find out what has gone on. We have not heard a word from Stan Conti or anybody in the medical corps. But you know, I mean, at this juncture of the season, you don't need injuries, not to those type of guys, not to Durhams and Williams.
Well, when we talked to Felipe Alou in the middle of the game, the first thing he said was, yes, we lose Williams, and we also lost Felix Rodriguez before the game. Rodriguez involved in a trade, so all of a sudden your bullpen does this. It shrinks, and I'm not sure the Cardinals went, all right, we got this game now, but you have to figure that the Cardinals felt like the deeper they got into the Giants bullpen, the better they were.
Well, it proved to be the difference in the ball game. The reliable Jim Brower tonight had a problem getting his breaking ball down the strike zone, and as he was elevated with his location, the Cardinals jumped all over for a 6-run six, and that proved to be the difference in the ball game.
So 7-4 is your final. Giants, we want to hear from you. Log on to sfgiants.com to tell us what you think of tonight's broadcast. Look for this graphic and let your thoughts be heard. Tune in to KTVU Fox 2 tomorrow at 7 for Game 2. And we'll be back with you on FSN Bay Area Tuesday night at 7 for the opening game of the Giants and Reds in high def. So coming up next is IMAX 4. With Roberts, and for my partner Mike Krukow, our producer Jeff Kuiper, our director John Ward, I'm Dwayne Kuiper. You've been watching Giants baseball on FSN. Thanks for joining us, and from San Francisco, have a good night.